Hi, this is Dave Ruden, the Ruden Report, and we're going to do another one of our Zoomcasts. And actually, this is a special one for me, a story that a coach let me know about in the preseason that I didn't get to. And with the holidays coming up and with all the COVID news and everything, we're all in need, I think, of a really good feel-good story. And we've got a great one right now. Joining me from the Trumbull girls soccer team is Sona Kocinsky. And well, we'll do a few questions and people will know why this is a feel-good story. First of all, Sona, thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, so first of all, you found out some really good news this past week. You had to miss the soccer season with Trumbull because you're recovering from bone cancer. And before we kind of backtrack, what did you find out less than a week ago?
So I'm now cancer free.
Okay, well that's as feel good gets. So
Yeah.
congratulations. What when you first got that news, what went through your mind, your heart, everything?
I mean, it's like a weight lifted off, and it feels amazing to finally be free of that and to be able to return to, a normal life. And it's a huge deal for me. So I'm really happy, obviously.
Well, everybody is just as happy for you. So let's backtrack a little bit because your coach, when I emailed all the coaches at the beginning of the season for previews and asked for story ideas, your coach mentioned you, and we're finally getting into it now. So take me back. From what I understand, you first found out that you had cancer back at the end of last season.
Yeah, so at the very end of the season, I was having some pain in my shoulder, and I kind of didn't really know what it was, and I just put off going to the doctor until the season was over because it was the very end. And then eventually I did, and they noticed something. They noticed a mass, and then I got an MRI, and then that's how we found out.
Uh, you find out such devastating news. What was that like? I can't imagine.
I mean, yeah, it was shocking. Nobody ever expects to hear that kind of news, so it takes a little while to wrap your brain around it and to adjust, but eventually I did, and I learned to adapt to like a completely different life, and it took a little time, but I did eventually, and I tried to make the most of the situation.
Obviously, there. Some of this part of this question is sort of obvious, but just what kind of adjustments? And I would imagine not only are you going through major adjustments, but then with COVID, you go through major adjustments.
Yeah, it was kinda like a double whammy. We called it the what was it? The 2 Cs or something, cancer and COVID. But, um, yeah, it was crazy. So, I mean, I was spending all this time in the hospital, like, my extracurriculars were out the window, school was out the window, like, I couldn't be in school anymore, and I worked really hard to still keep up with my studies, but it was difficult because I wasn't in school every day like everyone else was. And then also just seeing friends and doing the stuff that I was used to, like that was totally different. Getting exercise, like I had to find new ways to get exercise because I couldn't like play competitive soccer anymore, obviously. So it was a lot of adjustment.
And then just in terms of once the pandemic hit, I would imagine maybe you had to become more isolated just because you couldn't risk with what you were going through being around other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I mean, that was really tough. I think it was tough for everybody being isolated. And then part of what helps, anyone get through something really difficult in their life is having lots of people around to help them through. And so COVID made that harder.
What as you started getting closer to the start of the school year and soccer season, I know how much soccer means to you. What was it like? Was there a point that you were hopeful you might get to play? My understanding was uh, really was whether you get to spend time with the team because of everything. Was there a point where there might have been some hope you'd get to play?
I didn't really expect to get to play because I was still recovering from my surgery, but and I was not sure if this was going to work out with COVID and everything, but I was hoping to be able to spend some time with the team and go to some games and all of that. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And I was actually able to do senior night with my class. So that was really awesome.
And we're gonna get to that in a minute or two. But which was the first game where you actually got to be with the team?
I think, trying to remember.
Was it a low ways into the season, or how far into the
Um,
season was it?
I don't remember the first game, but I did go to like a preseason, um, like the first time when I saw like everybody on the team for a really long time, after COVID and after my treatment was actually like a preseason summer training session. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was really awesome to see everybody there. Yeah, so
But
that was like the
yeah,
first.
when
Um,
when you got to start being on the bench a little bit, what was it like just being back with your teammates and your really close friends?
Yeah, it was really awesome. Like I was a little nervous at first, a lot had changed, but everybody was so welcoming and it was just awesome to be like nothing had changed really and it was awesome to be with everybody.
How to give you a big appreciation for what
Yeah,
you were a part of once you got to return it, I would imagine.
for sure.
What's special about the Trumbull girls soccer program?
I think the team has a great dynamic and we work really well together and we're all really close. And so I think that's what makes it really awesome.
And obviously the team had a great season this year and
Yeah.
got to tie St. Joseph for the region title. I think at the beginning of, if this had been a normal season, I think St. Joseph probably would have been the favorite to win the FCX. So the Eagles, you guys got to tie them. Were you at the region final?
No, I was really upset because I actually had treatment that day.
Uh,
So I wasn't able to go, but I did, I texted everybody afterwards to find out about the game and stuff. So,
okay, let's go to but let's go to senior night now. What was senior night like for you?
um, well, it was really awesome. I mean, there's not much else I can say, I guess, but it was a little weird to actually be back on the field and like the first time I took my cleats out in basically a year. That was a little weird and a weird feeling. But once I was on the field and once I was with my team, it felt like it felt like last year and it was a really awesome feeling to be able to do that with all my friends and like the girls that I've done soccer with since freshman year.
What when you got called out and walked out onto the field, I would imagine that had to be a real special touching moment for you.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment and um yeah, it was awesome.
I guess as we're getting ready for Thanksgiving right now, you have a lot to be thankful for.
For sure. Yep.
How big was being a part of the team? How big a part did that play in just sort of helping to expedite your recovery with all the support that you got and the love and the good feelings?
Yeah, the team was there for me. Like they would check up on me and um like Anna would text me regularly. When I was first diagnosed, they actually came to my house to visit me after my biopsy, which meant a lot. So they've been a great support system through the whole way. And yeah.
I guess it gave you probably a different feeling what it's like to be part of a team. Uh, this was this was a team really supporting you at the moment you really needed it. What different appreciation, if you have one, what's the appreciation now that you have for being part of the Trumbull girls soccer program?
Well, I guess their support was really tested and it really came through for me. And it showed me that I have so many people um, to back me up and support me when I need it. And I want to do the same for them. So, yeah.
Okay, so what's in your future now, Sona? Now that you are cancer free and get back to doing what you're able to do in this COVID affected life we're all going through, what are your future plans, future hopes?
Well, I'm planning to go to college, and hopefully I'll have as normal as possible a freshman year, and everybody else is hoping that too, I know. Um, I want to study biology probably wherever I go, but I also want to experiment a little, see what, play around with my interests. So we'll see. I'm really looking forward to next year.
What about soccer in your future? Are you looking to play club or on? I don't know what you can do off season, what is going to be allowed to do once you're able to get outdoors, but will soccer be a part of your future in any way?
Yeah, I would. Right now I don't play competitively, but I still try and get out in the backyard and play with my sister or with my friends sometimes. And in college, I would really like to do intramural or club or something like that.
Well, I'm sure that will work out for you. And Sona, this is the kind of stories people like to hear about, and especially on Thanksgiving week. This couldn't be a better story for me to help share with everybody out there. So congratulations on the great news. I'm happy you got to have senior night. I'm happier that you are cancer free, and I wish you only the best in the future, and please stay healthy and safe. And I hope you can achieve everything you want for yourself.
Thank you so much.
And thanks again for joining me.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And that's the Ruden Report Zoomcast for this Thanksgiving week. Thanks again to Sona, and we'll be back and have another good story to share sometime soon.